Do you ever wonder if you're giving your kids the education they deserve? Like there's definitely someone more qualified to teach your kids and provide them a better future. I'm Alex Leckerman, the Homescholar, and after serving hundreds of homeschool families, I've recognized a few patterns in homeschool stress. So in this video, I want to address why many homeschoolers are stressed in the day-to-day, how to break free from that, and why homeschooling is actually your best option for your child's education. If you're stressed and distracted, you can't give your child a transformative education that will define their future. So let's get started. Here's a quote about homeschooling that I want you to see. Homeschoolers hold their kids' education in their hands. If that doesn't stress you out sometimes, you don't understand what you signed up for. This quote sounds scary, but it points out how so many parents feel. On the other side, it emphasizes the raw power that you wield as a homeschool parent. You're dutifully forging a path forward for your children, an education that's optimized just to them. I've seen so many parents stress over whether they're qualified to teach their children. I'm going to address actions you can take to be less stressed and become more confident, but first, you need to know this. By homeschooling, you'll have over 12,000 more hours with your children you wouldn't otherwise have if they were public schooled. This is valuable time to pass on important values, foster stronger connections, and impart a tailored education that will serve them a lifetime. Understand this is a valid weight to be feeling. So I'm going to equip you with education tactics that you can try at home and see if it returns more peace to your day. Take a moment to reflect. Are you fighting your student whenever they get to a certain subject? Is your brain fried just thinking about the grading you need to do later? Curriculum can be a stressful point for homeschoolers if you don't know how to choose it. If you came from a public schooling background, you never had the option to choose your own curriculum, so you've never learned how. If a subject is giving you or your student friction and it has been going on for a while, you probably need to switch curriculum. Lots of parents are hesitant to switch, but this is your permission to go for it, even if it's the middle of the year. But staying is a one-way ticket to burnout. Here's how to pick a remedy curriculum. You know how some people have huge upper bodies but chicken legs from skipping leg day? Getting the right curriculum is like finally working out those little legs. But unlike the athlete, you don't have to do thousands of reps. You can use curriculum to remedy your weaknesses. As the teacher, if you hate grading, get a curriculum that automatically grades for you. If you aren't good at math, get a strong math curriculum. Most homeschool curriculum assumes that the parent isn't a certified teacher in every subject, so it's designed to hold your hand as you guide your student through the material. It's a powerful tool that can revolutionize your homeschool. You don't have to relearn calculus, but it's also not complete if it doesn't also click with your student. Is your teen a visual, audible, or kinesthetic learner? A program that teaches the same way your child learns helps your teen retain the material up to 60% better. This is one of those tricks that public school could never pull off because they have 30 different learners in the same room. So if your teen is experiencing a lot of friction with a subject, don't be afraid to stop using that curriculum. Push for a few weeks to see if they're just having difficulty settling in or if the resource flat out isn't a good fit for them. If you're fighting your child on this every day for a long time, stop using it and switch to another. I want to supercharge this with another point. Completing a high school level textbook counts for a credit, even if it's completed under the standard 120 to 180 hours. The time spent doesn't matter if it's passed and finished. What this means is your child can either finish the textbook up to 75% or fulfill the 120 to 180 hours in that subject. Both count. I leave that to your personal judgment, but you can opt to fulfill the time instead of completing the book. These are essential to picking and using good curriculum, but what good does this do if you're stressed out about your time? Here's an example. Public schools follow a tight schedule of 45-minute intervals. Since many homeschoolers started with kids in public schools, it's easy to try and take those practices and apply them at home. But if you follow this approach, you're denying your child a valuable personal education. After all, you're not trying to teach a class of 30 students every hour, so let's focus on tricks just for homeschoolers. I'm sure you can agree one of the biggest challenges is having enough time, which is why this system focuses on one of the most powerful tools homeschoolers can use. It optimizes your time in ways no high school can copy. Rather than adhering to that strict 45-minute period that can feel constraining and stressful, we want to organize activities into natural chunks of time that flow seamlessly into one another. To help explain, when was the last time you threw all of your laundry in the washer together? The darks, the whites, the delicates, all in the same washer. You wouldn't do that, especially long term, because you'll ruin your clothes. It would be a waste. But if you sort by color and type, everything gets cleaned, dried, and goes smoothly. Time blocking does the same thing with your attention, grouping similar tasks together so you don't waste mental energy switching back and forth. The idea was popularized by Cal Newport in the book Deep Work, which outlines the hidden cost of switching your focus. This is a little bit hands-on, so I made a PDF that you can download in the description. The rest of this video won't make much sense without it, so I'm going to give you a second to go download it. Got it? Great. In this strategy, you have 6 blocks of time. What is in each block isn't all that important. It's the order that I really want you to pay attention to, because really, there's 2 important parts. First, you're going to select an energy graph for each of your children. Are they like fireworks in the first 30 minutes that they wake up, or are they slow to rise? And by the way, feel free to draw your own energy graph on a piece of paper to really tailor this to your home. Once you have that picked, move on to step 2, where I need you to consider all of your children individually. In this area, put the name of all of your children. Now you'll see the list of core classes your child is likely taking. This is where the magic happens. Rank how much your child likes each subject and how independent they are in it. So if your child loves history and almost can't stop reading it, that's a 5-star subject. If breaking out the math book puts a concrete wall in their day, that's a 1-star task. Here's the general rule of the graph. Try to tackle those 1-star tasks in high energy periods. It's when you and your children are likely at your cognitive peak for the day. Not to mention, getting past the hard subject makes for a progressively easier day. Can you imagine if every time you had to make a critical decision, it was 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. or for some people 6 a.m.? The right time is so important. Catching yourself and your student at your mental peak makes homeschooling so much easier. An exception to consider is if you're using this for your preteens, you may have to leave the intense subjects for when they're more tired. I know plenty of moms that would have never gotten math done if they didn't tire their boys out first with a bike ride or outdoor time. So here's how you can supercharge time blocking to help your student do so much better at school. You might have to plan a vacation with all the free time you save. If you look at your energy chart, you'll realize we've put all the most difficult subjects first for the day. How can you possibly get things moving when everyone needs your help? So we're creating the traffic jam of a lifetime. So how do we fix it? First, if some of your children are early risers and others aren't, you really don't have a problem. The difficult subjects are naturally staggered. If all of your children are up at the same time, start only one kid with the 1-star tasks. Have all the others start with 2 or at max a 3-star task. That way they're still getting hard work done, but they aren't as reliant on you. Then rotate through your students and those 1-star tasks until they are cleared for the day. If you do it this way, you can still get the most challenging stuff out of the way for the day while also clearing your traffic jam and making your homeschool easier. Boom! you've done it. Though let's say you have no interest at all in doing this and traditional schooling works for you. I promise if you go through this exercise even one time, you'll be better off for it. You'll at least be able to recognize what time a subject is better for your kid, which creates a useful awareness. There's one more thing I wouldn't be serving you if I didn't bring this up. If your children are close to 8th grade or already in high school, there's something so important that you need to do. It's so valuable. Your teens can get huge scholarships, crazy college admissions, and even full ride scholarships when they focus in on this. Can you imagine graduating from college debt-free? It's such an impactful topic. I made this video to explain, so click the video here if your child is coming up on or already high school age.